Warning. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the presenter in their current state of mind, which they have the right to change at any given moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. All commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, teaching, and/or scholarship of copyrighted material is protected by the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. iRant Network and the founder of the Ranters Union, Jalogic, aka Mr. M, recommends that you take what is said and do your own research. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Furthermore, listen carefully to the ranters rant and debate their opinions and form your own conclusion. Thank you for watching this member-supported program, powered by the Ranters Union and produced for the iRant Network. Good day.
Welcome YouTube family, welcome Stacked After Hours family, welcome Ranters Union. It is the spot, the Stacked After Hours spot. I am your host, Natalie Cosby, and welcome to the show for Grown Folk Talk. So tonight we are back having a conversation about dating standards, and tonight's panel is an all single soiree of fine, beautiful Black folks who are talking about their single experiences and their standards when it comes to dating and relationships. So y'all ready? Get your cocktails, get those fingertips loose, because we want to hear y'all with the questions and comments for tonight's show. So Sha, and as we always say, we are always here to keep it lit and enlightening. So let's go. Take us there, Logic. Quiet storm. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome everybody. I want to introduce my lovely co-host. We throw her up in the air and we call her Sunshine. Say hey, Sunshine.
Hey, Sunshine.
And I am wow. So let's go with our panel. So tonight he's back. He's an educator, a sports enthusiast, and he has his own sport podcast called Wednesday Starts the Weekend on Spotify. And he's my kinfolk, Matthew Cosby. What up, Matt?
What's going on? I appreciate you having me. It's actually the weekend starts on Wednesdays, but we'll take it. We'll take any club.
Thank you, my old brain. Next, new to the show, she is the owner of the Copyright Editorial Services. She's stunning, beautiful, and smart. Miss Janina Lawrence. Hey, Janina.
Hi, Nat. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful. Next, I'm also proud and excited to have to the show is my homeboy, super cool Omega. We went to high school together, middle school together. I've known him forever, Mr. Tamar Smith. Throw it up, Tamar. Hey. finally, she is our regular on the show, Miss Texas herself, Tanera Francois Matthews. Hello, Miss Tanera.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Cool. So we are going to jump right into it. Everybody on this panel is single, correct? To my knowledge, are y'all acting like y'all single at least for the night? Y'all act like y'all
Not
single.
married, not
Oh,
married.
no, nobody's married. Okay.
Right.
So we are talking about relationship or dating, well, relationship and dating standards, realistic. And I think we always get caught up, especially at this age, like I'm not settling, I'm not doing anything. But we want to always know. We always ask, like, what do we deserve? What do we want? But more importantly, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are in the dating game? And I'm going to start with Mr. Smith. I'm going to let the man go first.
So when you say who am I in the dating game, the first thing I comes to mind is I'm the life of the party. So I'm gonna bring some fun, excitement, a youth movement. Just because of my age doesn't mean I have to necessarily, I guess, turn down. I guess we could say when I'm at work. So when I do my work thing, I'm Tamar. If we out and about and I'm meeting people and socializing, I'm T Smitty. So those are two different people. So I'm gonna act different ways. So when you see me out, when you see me out, I'm gonna be fun, energetic, life of the party. Of course, I'm gonna be dancing and all that good stuff, talking to socializing with everybody. That's just gonna be me.
All right, Tamar. Maybe T. Smith. Next, Janina.
I feel like that's a loaded question, but who am I? I think I may come off as a little shy and quiet, but once I'll say get to know you, get comfortable, I can be quite the opposite. So maybe a little loud, um, adventurous, fun. Um, will tell you the truth. Sometimes that can be a double-edged sword, but that's kind of who I am.
Cool. I'm going to pass it on to my kinfolk, Matthew Wade. Come on, Mook. Who are you? Who do you think you are?
Um, I'm probably the pessimist because which is probably why I'm single, because I just go into it. I've been so jaded. I just go into it like this is another one that's not going to work. But when I do remove that cloud of being jaded, I'm usually pretty laid back, go with the flow, trying to keep it light, trying to just, make sure that we're both comfortable. I think when you first step into something, whether it's dating or relationship, that can kind of be a lot of pressure. So I think for me, it's just trying to like alleviate or remove any type of pressure that might be associated with that.
All right. Miss Matthews, bring us home.
Yeah, so I'm glad I went last because I had to kind of think about this question. And so, I think the perception, and this is just my assumption, but the perception of me initially is like I'm confident, probably dating already, true alpha female. Some of that is true. I am probably an alpha female, but independent and not really needing a man. That's kind of what I hear a lot. But on the opposite, I actually consider myself like a lover. Like I really like relationships. I'm probably a little needy in relationships, and I think sometimes the perception when you first meet a person can be totally opposite of truly who they are. But when I think of myself initially, I think I'm very direct. I think I'm a great communicator. I'm very transparent about what I've been through and what I'm looking for. And, that kind of goes hand in hand in what I look for in people.
This is the cast of a great movie: the party boy, the pessimist, the nice girl, and the alpha female. God damn, y'all like a whole damn movie. It's like, wait. All right. So now that we've kind of figured out who you are or who you think you are, who have you been attracting lately? Like, seriously, I want y'all to be honest. Like, what energy has been coming your way, or what have you been giving off? And anybody can actually. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Janina on that one, and then you guys can also ask each other's questions. Go ahead.
So what's I seem to have a knack for attracting people who are not quite able to handle me.
Meaning? What does that mean?
Yeah.
It means that there's a mixture of emotional unavailability, not being able to handle who I am, like the space I take up in the world. I've been told you're too big, and it wasn't about physical stature. I'm 5'11", but I'm thinking it was outside of my physical stature. Just I love hard. I play hard. I do all things fully. I don't know how to do things in the middle and kind of, so I think that's what I seem to attract, people who are not quite able to be steady beside me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are they emotionally unavailable? Is that what it is? Or
yes. So there's that. So there's the draw there, but then like, I'm not quite being able to kind of not measure up, but being able to
they weren't ready.
Exactly. That's exactly not being able to handle it and not ready. So that's what I seem to handle. So or seem to attract.
I'm not gonna say what just went in the chat about you, Janina, but we'll come back to that later. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, y'all on lit. Tennessee, I see you up in the chat giving us things. Matthew, you said you're pessimistic. So what are you, with that pessimism, are women more drawn to you, Matthew?
Certain women, yeah, and I think that they tend to be needy, emotionally. I don't want to say, mostly emotionally. If there were another type of neediness, I probably would handle that better. But they tend to be a little bit more emotionally needy, more so than anything else. And maybe it's because they can sense, or maybe it's like the pessimism, like the pessimistic attitude that I give off. They're like, they can sense that, and they can sense that maybe I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of like ambivalent. So it's like they put on the full court press to see like, well, can I get this guy to like commit, or can I get this guy to fully like invest in seeing if this can go somewhere?
I know exactly what you mean, Matthew.
Anthea.
No, I'm serious. I think it's a challenge for these women. He's attracting women that sees him as a challenge. And I think they want to see who is the one that could crack this code to make him be all that they want him to be. And he's told them upfront who he is. I know the type.
Okay. Tamar. Tamar, who is typically, because you are the party, if you're the life of the party, and I know you are, that means you ain't changed. I've known you since middle school. You are the life of the party. So is it the same girl? What ladies are being drawn your way?
Yeah, nothing's changed but the zip code and the tax bracket. So I'm still me.
I love it. I love it.
I have like two different kinds that I keep attracting. So one, they're a little younger than I would like. So
How
they
young are? What age range are we talking about? They in their late 30s, early 30s?
I done got in the 20s.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I've been
Okay.
approached by I've been approached by women in their 20s, and I'm like, nah, it ain't gonna work. My daughter's 25, so that ain't gonna work.
Oh wow.
So I get those kind, and those kind are just not for me because they my daughter's age and they don't have any children. So that's out. Then the other kind is they're a little more settled. Yes, they're around my age, but they want to move too fast. So they're like, I'm this old. I want to be doing this. I've never been married or I want to be married. Those kind of things. And my work schedule up until a couple of weeks ago didn't allow for me to move at the pace that they liked. So therefore, that just kind of leaves me where I'm at.
But could I just say something, Natalie? You do know that you look a little younger than, I believe, the age range that you are in, right, Tamar?
Tomorrow, you're 49, right? I'm blowing him up. He's in his late 40s. Sorry, I
I'm
just
49. I am what I am.
You can't look at you and tell.
I probably frequent a whole range of, places that there's different age groups in there, so that
Yeah.
plays into
Yeah.
it.
It's that Kentucky water. What can I say? Tanera.
So, I think I attract alpha men. I think I attract very confident men. I think they're the ones that approach me. I think they're the ones that are confident enough to compliment me and make me feel the way I like to feel in order for me to continue a conversation with them. So that's kind of what I attract. Unfortunately, they're a little bit, they're more layers. So intellectually, that's where kind of the challenge starts to come in, and then a little player starts to come in. So, though I'm fun and I can be alpha, I really like to be mentally stimulated. And I like someone at this age to be serious and have a purpose when dating. So once we start getting to the good stuff, that's where, and I've been fortunate. I mean, I've met some really nice guys, but I mean, you have to go through a lot of them before you get to the good ones. But that's kind of where the standards start to differ. And I respect that. Everyone's not at the same place at the same time. And so I respectfully say, I'm out. And that's where we end.
So we've talked about what y'all have. Go ahead, Anthea. Did you have a question?
No, I didn't.
So we talk about, who you think you are and who you have been attracting. But what is y'all's selection process? Let's just talk about that. Like, what has been over the last 5 years, right? After post COVID, that's about a 5-year window up until what has been your selection process now? Let's just talk about that.
Selection process?
Your selection process, like based on your standards and how you've been selecting the people you want to spend time with. Because I think there's you have people standards and you have dating standards, right? So are they mirroring each other? Are they, are you just like, oh, he fine. I'm looking fine, man. But
I mean, that helps.
I'll start with that. I am really big on communication. And I actually think more than maybe the average. So a lot of people may say, oh, I'm big on communication as well. But I think I'm like extremely big on it. In this day and age with technology, like if we're reaching out to each other, I don't need to talk to you all day. But if I reach out, respond with the text, hey, I'm busy, or this kind of thing. People who kind of go ghost or, aren't really responsive. And it could be because I'm in a job or a career where communication is so important and follow-up is so important, that is my number one, number two, and number three. If you're not a good communicator, I don't know. I don't know what else I can really do with that.
Do others have
I would,
issues? Go ahead.
I would say it's almost what Tanera was mentioning. So you got to have communication, but it has to be organic. So it's like if it's a chore for me to talk to you, or like it's got to be a lot of scheduling going on between whatever, jobs, kids, family, whatever. Like that kind of throws it off for me. It just needs to be natural and organic.
I like that.
Yeah. Are some of y'all just getting chosen? You're not really selecting anybody. You choosing who you like and who that likes you? Are any of y'all going with that? Is that part of the selection process, Matthew?
Yeah, I prefer to get drafted than other.
I can't with Matthew.
I don't know.
Matthew,
Again,
is
like,
that laziness?
no, yeah. I'm not. And look, I self-admit I'm a late bloomer as far as like intent with dating. As a man, probably just being a dog, like my intent for dating was for one purpose, and I'm sure everyone knows what that was. But you know what I'm saying, or what that is. But I think, I would say up until pretty recently, like, yeah, like it's like I've been not even comfortable, but like, okay, it's time to step out and like start choosing what I want, start like having must-haves or like to haves as far as setting parameters for like girls that I'm dating and stuff like that, or potential like long-term relationships. But like, yeah, for a long time, like, yeah, it was just kind of like go with the flow. If you're out and about and you're in a city where there's going to be a lot of young people and a lot of people who are within your demographic, I'm not as I just entered my 40s. I'm not as old as like my brother Tamar, but I've been but I'm just saying I've been there, not even to try to blow you up or anything like that, Tamar, but I'm just saying like I've been there where like 20-year-olds hit on you, 24-year-olds hit on you. So it's just like when you still got the juice like that, it makes it a little easier to kind of like be lazy with it. I'm just being honest.
You are giving me Michael Jordan right now.
I love it.
Shut up, man.
Matt, you just keeping it 100. You just keeping it 100%.
100%. 1,000.
Yeah.
But to your point, Matt, if they come to you and select you, you're 30% into it because they're interested in you. Now I just need to find out if it's reciprocal or not.
30%?
You're 30% in. If you get approached by a woman, you're 30% in.
Off top. Easily.
Janina, help me out, girl. What is biggest solution?
So I have this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's the truth. I have a 13-year-old son, and he's an old soul. And my litmus test is if someone approaching me or someone I'm dating doesn't have the emotional intelligence, the emotional capacity, the self-awareness of my 13-year-old son, can't hold a conversation, doesn't have like that, it's a hard no for me.
Wow. Janine, you're going to be single because
everybody keeps
I have a 16-year-old and I say the same. I remember once a guy was telling me, Valentine's Day is like made up holiday. We don't have to do this, these gifts and all this stuff. And so, I asked my son, what did he think about that? And he was like, at the end of the day, a woman wants a gift on Valentine's Day. She wants to feel special. So regardless of the reason, what it is, if however you think about it, understand that makes a woman feel special. So just do it. So, I mean, it's just kind of simple concepts. It's just the innocence of a child that, so I agree. I do think we all get tainted as we get older. So I know if I had to measure men on the thinking of my child, whew.
And so maybe that's why I'm single.
I think I'm tainted one more way. I don't know. I know Matt and Natalie, but I don't know everybody else's status.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've been married, then the selection process is a little more particular.
Yeah, I've been married too.
Once you've been married.
Yeah, I was married 18 years. I've only been divorced for 5. So, yeah.
And I think, not to cut off the host, and I'm let y'all prompt y'all's next question, but to Tanera's point, like I think also like the game is probably a lot different when you've been married 18 years as opposed to how it was before you were married, right? Yeah. Like the whole landscape of dating, communication, technology, how that plays into all of that. Like it's like you're operating in a digital world when it used to be analog. You know what I'm saying? So like I can only imagine like the challenges that could bring on both sides, or not even being gender specific, and trying to navigate, in dating in today's world.
Yep. Very true. Very true. Natalie, you're on mute.
Yeah. Do we have any comments before we go on to the next?
Yeah, we probably don't want to read some of those comments.
Go on, light it up. Light it up.
I read the comment that after I spoke,
it was
give us one of them comments. Tennessee Williams has been giving us a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. He said you got to communicate with common sense and act right, and some act right. It just left me. Yeah. What up, Tennessee? So let's talk about the person who set the standard for the standards that y'all believe in. I always call them your Mount Everest, right? Like the person that set up on the throne that you probably gauge a lot of your standards off of. How has that played into your selection process now? And what have you let go from that particular relationship? And what did you take with you from that relationship?
So you're saying who's that person that
who's that? You are. Maybe it may have been an experience, right? Yeah, it may not even have been a person.
So I was with some girlfriends tonight, and I was saying how like the most attractive thing for me that I don't see often is I love a man that works. Like I love come home, change some light bulbs, get in the yard, do some things like.
You mean housework?
Yes. Like, like labor. And I don't see it a lot, but I think it's, I saw that with my dad, and I just think that's a man. And I feel like you're not getting paid for it. You're just doing it because you're taking care of your house and the people you love. So it's like it's a love language for me. So that person that's like, he can go make the money. That's fine. I don't even know if that's as important to me. I really like, do some stuff. Like I work my men if I can, but I love it though. It's just my love language.
You like them to lay them hands.
Fix something, build something.
So you want somebody to come in and fix some shit, Tanera.
I do.
That's your Mount Everest? That's who's sitting up on the throne right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, there's plenty of handymen in New York that would love to date you.
I like that. Tanera.
Gentlemen, either one of you guys, Matt or Tamar?
For me, it's active lifestyle. And I would say I wouldn't even put that at the top. I would say ambition, because I think for me, just having seen women in my family who are highly ambitious, like that, like to me, that it's like the quintessential power couple, right? Like you being ambitious is going to help me feed off that and create my own ambition. Not to say that I'm not a self-starter, because I am, but like it doesn't, for me, and just something again that I've just kind of awakened with recently is just like, I need an ambitious woman. I need a woman who's going to go out there and like try to get it in her career or business, whatever it may be. Like, just, you know, doesn't want to be at home raising children. Not to say that that's not a job in itself. I don't mean to sound like antiquated or like chauvinist. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, go out there and get it. Like, I've been around, as you know, Natalie, we have a lot of highly successful women in our family.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a high standard that I've just, you know, grew up with.
Okay.
So can I just say a comment in the comment section for Tanera?
Huh.
Somebody said I'll come over and fix something, all right.
Oh. That's different.
I'm not
I'm not
gonna say who said it.
Go ahead. Continue.
So I'm a little old school. I guess I learned from, you know, from my father, from my mother, father. I'm gonna be the provider. When I was married, my wife made more than me, but I was the provider. What that means is I'm gonna take care of the bills. You just have more money for us to be able to do other things, go on vacations, you know, buy a white picket fence, whatever the American dream is. We got that money extra because you make more money, but I'm gonna take care of the bills. Unfortunately, she didn't see it like that. So when I was out here working 1, 2, 3 jobs and coming home and doing the duties of washing dishes, cooking meals, doing laundry, she was like, we don't have time to do nothing else. And I'm like, I'm providing for you a lifestyle that you decided you wanted. So this is what I have to do in order for us to have that lifestyle. Because every time I came home, something was purchased. Oh, we got a new sectional. Oh, we got a new stove. Oh, I'm like, I only make so much money, so I gotta be able to provide, because that's what I know is to provide. That probably changed my whole thinking of marriage.
So we do have a question in the chat.
Go ahead.
So it says humans are not a monolith. So don't standards tend to stereotype and unfairly categorize folks?
No.
No. Janina, you shaking your head no. Why?
No, I mean, at least by our age, I'm assuming that we're not going by, I need this height, or I need him to look a certain way, or, I mean, I think I'm hoping we're going a little deeper, and we're looking for how someone can compliment you, not necessarily offer you, but how someone can compliment you, because it's all about a balance. I grew up, my grandparents raised me. My grandfather was more of an intellectual. He was an ambassador. My grandmother was a go-getter, a businesswoman, and a hustler. So, but together they were a great kind of balanced team. They worked together. They knew each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they complemented each other. So I think it's all about being self-aware, knowing what you bring to the table, and just being able to acknowledge someone that can complement you, and deciding whether you're able to, or you're wanting to, or capable of meeting them where they are, they meeting you where you are, and you deciding to go forward or not. So I don't think it's about stereotypes or categorizing people.
I think it's funny with that question. I thought about this, and Anthea had this question that she was going to mention, but sometimes I think our standards do replace what we think we're missing within. Sometimes those requirements that we have, I'm not saying it, maybe not now, but I think as human beings, we're just like, well, I am looking for a person who can do this, but can you do that as well? And if you can't, is that okay? Because I think that's the whole point about partnership. Whereas Tamar was speaking earlier, where he was saying how he provide, even though she made more money, he still took the role of the provider.
I like that.
So Natalie, on that note, I think it depends on your personality. I like partnership. When I think of my relationships, like even in my marriage, I mean, we were the best of friends for a very long time until things, went wrong. So I cut yards. My ex-husband cooked. So I still cut yards. I clean my pool. Like, I'm on ladders. I'm building. So when I think of like loving that in a man, it's because that's what we can share. So it's not necessarily a stereotype, because I don't think I necessarily fit the bill of the typical woman. So, I just think it's just kind of where you stand in a relationship and in what you want. Even I choose friendships. I mean, I choose girls that kick it the way I kick it. So I think it's the same in relationships, not necessarily stereotypes.
So we have a comment here. I like me some Tennessee Williams, whoever it is. But he said people sometimes be asking too much from a person and they don't even know what they're asking. And I agree with Tennessee with that. What are your thoughts on that?
I know what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else. As
Gentlemen,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask the men, because I feel like at this age, both of y'all are somewhat ageless. Nobody really knows what age y'all are, not unless you tell them.
All four of them.
All four of them, especially. But I feel like Matthew is in California. I know that there are various different types of women that are approaching him. I know Tanera has. I mean, all of you guys are beautiful, but it's really interesting, just aesthetically, what the expectation is. And then on top of that, I think with our aesthetics, there's a certain expectation of who they should be and how they should show up. No?
What do you mean, Nat, by the aesthetics and how we should show up? Because
how the person that comes to you should show up when they step to you.
Oh, I'm 49, and this is going to sound horrible, but I don't necessarily attract men that are 49-year-old.
That ain't horrible. What's horrible about that?
I don't know. Or yeah.
Are they young? They're younger than 49.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
I can see that.
And markedly younger, not like 45, like,
like 35.
And
the
whole panel, the whole panel, as Natalie said, is ageless. Like, you literally can't look at you guys and say, oh, you're in your 40s or 30s. You guys are ageless. So a plethora of people from different generations are probably approaching you.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of young men. One or two sprinkled. I usually get my age group, and it could just be where I'm hanging.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really go in the city to those spots and that sort of thing. So I don't, I'm probably in the old head clubs. So yeah, I haven't had that experience.
Anthony, do you want to talk about you want to bring up your comparison of the Mercedes versus the Toyota?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys got a chance to read the blurb, but you go into a car dealership, you want to get a Mercedes, but you ain't got the money, or you don't even know what comes with that Mercedes. And so you buy it, and then you realize, oh my God, it's $1,000, as somebody said, for an oil change. The tire change is way above whatever it is you can make a payment on. And so you could have gotten the Toyota, which is the same reliable. It takes you from point A to point B, but you wanted that Mercedes. So in relationship, are you going for the Mercedes, or and the Toyota is just as good? Are you going for the Mercedes when you can't bat above that Toyota range?
It's above their income level, Anthea. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not even the income level,
Yeah,
but
so that's
there's
what I
a
was
lot.
going to ask. What categorizes a Toyota versus a Mercedes in the dating world?
So, right. So you're going for the Beyonce or the Idris Elba when Clyde and Sherry is just as good.
But is that in terms of looks, in terms of their income
It could be
potential?
whatever
In terms
you.
of everything, in terms of
Everything.
anything. Are you batting above where you believe you should be?
I love how it's crickets. I'm gonna have the men answer this question. We're gonna start with the men on this one. Matthew, go ahead.
No.
Do I? So wait, the question is, do I shoot for a Mercedes when I should be driving a Toyota? Is that? I mean,
No, not necessarily. But are you a Toyota shooting for Mercedes?
no. I would say I'm more like, we won't have these analogies. I mean, I don't know. I'm more like I don't know, maybe like an Acura or something. Like I don't. I
You're a
think
utility vehicle, Negro.
yeah. I don't know. I don't. I think the way I look at it is you shoot for the stars. If you miss, you land on the cloud. Like I don't.
I like that.
It's hard to categorize. Like, yeah, I'm obviously going to be attracted to a woman who's successful, who's good looking. So like, but I also think that I'm attractive and good looking and successful. And I'm not trying to say that to be conceited. I'm just saying that I feel like that's what I bring to the table. Just like I'm sure
like
every
that.
person on this panel feels the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're all probably Mercedes wanting to get another Mercedes. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I hope that, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong thinking like that, personally.
I like that.
Tamar.
I'm a little
I
different.
agree.
First of all, we're not going to categorize Toyota.
He works with you.
Because he works for Toyota. I'm sorry, Tamar.
Right? We're not gonna mess up my livelihood like Toyota just ain't nothing.
That's
I love it.
That's
Sorry,
perfect.
love it.
Tamar. Okay,
Right.
a Kia. We're gonna say a Kia.
There you go. Yeah, take it down a notch. Although they coming up. They coming up.
I know the Kias are coming up.
Yeah, let's take it down a notch. All right.
Lord
But-
Jesus.
So I guess I got the Mercedes budget, but I know what a Mercedes brings, right? It's a lot of maintenance, so it's high maintenance, right? And it ain't always gonna be shiny and running forever like when you first bought it. But if you get a Toyota, the
She-
maintenance,
go.
if you do the maintenance, it runs forever. So
That's
if you get
right,
the right,
Tamar.
if you get the right kind of
I
woman,
love it.
right? The right kind of woman, and you maintain her the right way.
I love it.
She don't turn her head. She's not looking any other direction. And because she's a Toyota, not a lot of people look her way, right? Because she's a Toyota. Everybody's checking for the Mercedes. Oh, that's the new model. That's the new model Mercedes. Oh, I want to get in that. But the Toyota
That shit could be recalled.
I love it. Now I want to go buy a Toyota. Wait, I do have one. I love it.
Lady.
I mean, even though I do work for Toyota, I would never look at a. Never mind.
Say it, Tamara. Go ahead.
I'm good. Maybe
Okay.
Alexis. Maybe a Lexus. There you go.
Because it's owned by Toyota.
That's a fancy
Yeah.
Toyota.
That's a fancy Toyota.
Yeah.
It's in the same class as a Mercedes.
No. It's supposed to be, but it's not. Nevertheless.
All right. Ladies.
I do both equally. I don't coward from either. So I've definitely dated, the Mercedes or whatever, and they just as crazy as the entrepot man out there that I'll date as well. It's all just kind of how someone makes me feel. So I don't know if I really categorize. I don't know if I look at those things, like how much money you have and that sort of thing. I'm all about me. I don't know if that's selfish, but it's all about how you make me feel. If I feel good, then I am 1000% committed with you. And that's it. It's not about money and all of that.
Tanera, you don't need a little Tanera.
I have my own money. Now, if money brings confidence and swagger and it makes you an alpha, then more power to you. Okay. But I have dated some alpha men that's just on their hustle. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to get on your hustle. We can't be, 60 still on the hustle, but that's character to me. It's not really the finance, it's more the character. Like I want to see that's that mental. So it's so many layers to it, and people can kind of categorize you like you're saying. Men with money, I don't know why they talk to me, but if you're gonna talk to me, I'm gonna talk back. But if you the other kind of dude, and I feel a certain way, I'm gonna talk to you as well. It's just not about the money. It's the alpha. It's just that I love a confident man that is able to approach, and I find that more often than not, it is a certain type of man that's comfortable doing that.
So Tanera, that's the Mercedes.
Is it usually the Mercedes?
I'll date the Mercedes and the Kia.
It just sounds like her Mercedes is maybe a 2013, not a 2022.
There we go. I'm going with that. There we go.
So Natalie, I do have a question from the audience, and it just highlighted. Women always say, "I'll date the broke guy." Somebody show me where that has ever happened.
Oh,
yeah. Weeks ago. It happens. I mean, at this age.
Nobody on this panel is dating any. Are y'all really dating broke people? Really?
Oh, okay. What's broke? Like,
so broke is relative.
Broke is relative. It is.
Yeah.
It's based on what you consider. I guess it's where you are right now.
Yeah. Because I've found that a lot of men in Mercedes exterior are trash inside.
Yeah.
True.
So
okay.
I'm just like, if you're going to be trash, then you can take the exterior and the shiny buff job and just keep it pushing.
Okay.
And there's certain expectations too. There's certain expectations sometimes about, because I'm a Mercedes, I want a certain amount of attention, and that just gets to be a lot to kind of manage. So.
Is it fair to categorize all Mercedes like that though?
No.
I think that's where it kind of gets, to whoever made the comment in the chat, that, we can't stereotype. And listen, I agree, but like I think as humans, our brains are designed to stereotype and categorize because it's easier to remember that way. But I just think that it's not fair to necessarily that. And I agree that like, most Mercedes, they might have a shitty interior, but like I don't think it's fair to say that they all are the same way.
Oh, no, they're not. Definitely not.
Right.
Yeah.
But I dated a guy I thought was broke. Like I defined as broke. Because he didn't really have a lot of, anything. But he treated me very, very well with what he had. And so to me, I looked at him versus a guy that didn't do anything, that just sat on the throne of I have. So, you know what I mean? So I thought he was a great guy.
So
I mean, neither one worked, they ended, but
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So have you ever gone to a dinner, if somebody invited you to dinner but didn't have the money to pay for it? Broke guy, that type of broke I'm talking about.
Well, I think that's immature. Don't take me to dinner. Like, don't go. I mean, we can eat, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at home, but no, I wouldn't want to be put in that situation where we get there and you can't pay. Right.
Tanera got to quit drinking this wine. She
I
talking.
know.
Yeah, come on.
She keep coming. She's. Hey, I don't want to call her a liar, but she's going overboard now.
I think you
What?
doing with the youngins
We can
called
eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, that's cap.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, just we can eat at home. I mean, just stay within your means. Don't live beyond your means and take someone somewhere at this age and then sit back and say, I can't pay for it. Because at the end of the day, whatever your financial situation is, I want to respect you as a man. Always. So I wouldn't want you to put yourself in a situation like that. And I wouldn't put you in a situation like that where I would think that would,
So Tanera, you're not going out with the dude who's like, yo, babe, I'm at the Houston's game and they send you the tickets to buy. Come and meet me at the Houston's game.
send me the tickets to buy.
So we're going to see the Texans.
Yeah.
We're going to see the Texans.
Yeah.
Right?
Like buy my ticket and meet me here.
Right.
No.
He's like, just come out. I'm in town. He's got to buy your ticket.
No, he can come to the house and we can watch it on TV. But no, I'm not going to buy my ticket. Not because of him, but because I don't want to pay for a ticket to go see the Texans. Or you know what I'm saying? It's not already my idea.
Right.
If I'm already at the game and he comes to the
What
game.
I'm trying to say is you don't do Dutch.
What do you mean when you're together or when you're dating? Like as a couple?
Either way. I mean, let's say when you're dating in the beginning phases, are you doing Dutch?
I've done Dutch before.
You've
I'll
done
pay
Dutch
for the
before?
whole meal.
I don't do Dutch.
You don't do Dutch?
So
I'm old school. I pay for everything.
Yeah, see, I'm new school. I prefer Dutch. Hey, man,
Double Dutch all day.
it's a
Can I
partnership,
ask-
right, man? I mean, look at all the power couples partnership. Beyonce's just as rich as Jay. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's got to be.
But they
Dutch.
don't have to pay for anything.
I'm not
They
saying
just walk
Anthony
into
or
a
Sunshine.
restaurant.
I'm not saying they have to pay for everything. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think in my perfect world, at least, I don't think I should always have to pay for everything.
Oh yeah.
I think it creates an unequal balance that's going to lead to other factors that are just going to, that. But again, I don't know. I've never been married. I don't have any children.
So Matthew, with the women that you've dated, when you go on the first date, do you normally go Dutch, or is that the expectation? Is that the standard?
No, hell no. No, I mean, I will normally pay for, I would say like if I meet a girl, we're going on dates, like I will pay every time. But I will say this, and I've actually prompted this question to you before back in the day, Natalie and Janice, our other sister. I was on a date with this sister. She's a little older than me, and we were on like our 5th date, and I had paid for every date up until then. And I was like, yo, I left my wallet. I was like, do you mind getting this one? And she was like, yeah, I'll get this one if you pay me back.
Oh.
So like, I think right. I think for me, it's just like, just the offer, like the gesture of being like, do you want me to get this one? It lets me know that you view it as a partnership, man. It's probably just me being jaded, living out here in LA in an artificial world for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it shows a sense of partnership, which is ultimately what I'm trying to capture by dating.
I like that, Matt. But can I ask the opposite of that? What if someone has the means and the money and is cheap as fuck? You go on a date with them and they're like, I need you to pay for half. And you know they got some money.
You're asking me that?
I'm just asking everyone on the panel, like, have you had that experience? Because we're talking about broke people that don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have it now, but you're cheap.
I'm kind of agreeing with Matthew. So, I've dated guys like playing the NBA, stuff like that. They got a lot of money. And in those situations, I do think it's just a character thing. Like I even got to a point where I'm like, every time we go out, you're paying. Like, I don't know. I think it's hard for men because that's just like the role, and especially if you date multiple people. I mean, shoot, I live in Texas, so it's a little cheaper. So, they can roll a little bit more, but New York, certain areas, I mean, that's expensive to date. So I think, I think you have to be, conscious of that. And I think that should be a standard to some extent, that a woman gestures at some point or shows that character. But, not all the
Not
time.
the fake gesture either.
Huh?
Right.
Not the fake gesture where you reach for the ticket
gesture,
and you really don't mean to take
legit.
it. Yeah.
Tamar, you said you always pay. Why?
Just that goes back to the provider thing. Just like, I'm gonna pay. I'm the man. I'm gonna pay. Number one. Number two, I don't want to owe you nothing. If it don't work out date 1, if it don't work out date 10, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be part of that conversation. Like I took this, I forgot where we at. I took this brother out. I took this brother out on a date and I paid for his meal. He's lame, he's broke, whatever. Blah, blah. I ain't trying to be in the rumor mill, basically.
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take care of it. Chances are I'm the one asking her out and planning it anyway. The only time really they pay for me is if it's a special occasion. You know what I'm saying? Like job promotion, birthday, something like that. Like then they can I'll probably let them pay and then we'll go somewhere else where I can pay it back.
Okay. All right. Jessica. Okay. All right. Cool. So we have about less than 4 more minutes. I have one more question for y'all though. So, when was there a time that you did not meet someone's standards? When was that time that you just did not? And we may have to take this into the after party because I know that's a loaded question.
I like that question.
But when was the time you did not meet somebody's standard?
A couple of months ago.
What happened to me?
I mean, you're not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have expectations on communications, time spent together. I have the things that I know for me makes me happy. And not just makes me happy, but gives me the ability to be the woman I want to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be in a relationship where they're not feeding me enough for me to be great. So, that's a lot to handle for some people. So some people like, I'm not really into you.
What? So he was just, okay. You were too much for him. Is that what?
I don't know. He just wasn't into me. I don't want to say too much, but, because sometimes people play on words and they can say, they can use the word needy or someone else can say you have high standards. So, some things can sound positive, some things can sound negative. So most of the time, it just depends on where you're sitting in the situation of how you describe it. But yeah, I wasn't his match.
Okay. Janina.
I guess my last major relationship, I just was too opinionated. I had too much to say. Or too much to say. And like Tanera is saying, sometimes it just doesn't fit into what the person's vision about a good mate. And so that was basically my thing. So I guess I was a little bit too opinionated.
I love these comments.
I love it, honey. Somebody's gonna break Tanera. Kenneth, you got to come into the after party. But
oh God, I can't see them. The comments.
That's okay. You don't need to see them.
You don't need to see them.
You don't. Tamar, was there any time that you just did not meet someone's standard?
Absolutely.
Yes and yes.
That's it, Tamar. He's like, absolutely.
I mean, it was probably from from age 19 to age 30, I was a dog. I was being a hoe. So I wasn't measuring up to nobody's standards, but somehow I always had a long lasting relationship, like an extended, like 2-year, 4-year relationship with some woman that I wasn't being faithful to. So I'm not proud of it, but yeah, I was living
Like,
a different life then.
You were soiling your oats, huh, Tamar?
So I could be ready. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was
Okay,
trying to
get
be
ready. Stay ready.
that's right, Tamar.
Matthew, what about you? Well, then we're gonna take him home.
Yeah, when I was younger, about 10 years ago, there was this beautiful sister who I love. Like, we equally yoked, like aligned on a lot of, just upbringing. Like, kind of grew up in the church, was in Jack and Jill, like just, went to a HBCU. But she told me she could never take me serious because I had a roommate at the time. But I thought it was funny because she lived at home with mommy and daddy. So I was just like, what kind of, your standards is, I don't know. They're not, you need to readjust the framework is how I felt with her standards. But yeah, that's one that stands out just because I was just like, damn, like, you're going to penalize me for that, but you stay at home with mommy and daddy. Okay. So, yeah.
So I got one more comment to close out the night from Miss Betty.
Go on, Sunshine. Take us there.
So Miss Betty said, a man who claims to care for you and is cheap for no reason may be stingy with his affection.
And we have that from Betty by A, our other loyal, aka New York homegirl. So coming to the after party, these beautiful Black people who are single, mind you, will be in the after party. Look at me pimping y'all out. We'll be in the after party. So come see their beautiful faces. We will see y'all next week. Next week, we will be talking about Black femininity. And go ahead, Sunshine. What we got coming up?
No, I was going to say, we got to come in. Kenneth C. Williams got to come into the after party. The link is going to be posted in our Facebook group. So check the Facebook group for the link for the after party. It's on Zoom.
Yes. Or you can we'll put it in the chat here as well in the YouTube. So ta-ta. Also, Stacked will be in Antigua if y'all are interested in coming at the end of the month. Antigua is lit. We're going to have a beach after party, so check us out. See y'all soon.
Be good is her name. I sing my lion song and brush my mane. She would, and she could. So she pulled my lion's tail and caused me pain. She said lions are made for cages, just to look at and delight. You dare not let them walk around, 'cause they might just bite. She knows what she does when she dances round my cage and says her name. Be good, be good. Be good is her name. I trim my lion's claws and I cut my mane, and I would if I could, but that woman treats me the same. just to look at and delight you. Dare not let them walk around, 'cause they might just bite. Does she know what she does when she dances around my cage? Be good is her name. I sing my lion song, brush my mane, and she would if she could. So she pulled my lion's tail and caused me pain. She said lions are made for cages, just to look at and delight. Dare not let them walk around, 'cause they might just bite. Does she know what she does when she dances around my cage? Be good is her name. I trim my lion's claws and I cut my mane, and I would if I could. But be good treats me the same. She said lions are made for cages, just to look at and delight. You dare not let them walk around, 'cause they might just bite. Does she know what she does when she dances around my cage? She dances around my cage. Does she know Does she know? Be good, be good, be good.